Good morning, folks. This is Deb, and it's June 27th, and it's time for our big announcement. So let me just give you a little history before I get into that. Started Women for Democracy in 2023 in response to the overturn of Roe v. Wade by the Supreme Court. And the goals were simple: to unite women and their allies everywhere across the nation to fight to take back our democracy in November of 2024. But we had a problem. And the problem was the misconception that we were, a woman-only group, and we weren't interested in working with men. We weren't very inclusive. And none of that is true. In fact, nothing could be further from the truth. So to that end, I am privileged to announce that we are starting Americans for Democracy, effective immediately. We have already opened up 50 state groups on Facebook and hope you will join us in the battle to take back this country. We have had 2 years now, nearly 2 years of GOP House rule. And we have seen what they are. They tell us every single day what they are. We have seen no interest from them in governing for the American people. They've spent their time blocking legislation. They've spent their time trying to, make the country go into default. They have spent their time basically kowtowing to a big orange jackaloon who is a wannabe dictator. Anything that Donald Trump wants, the House delivers. We had a border bill. He didn't want it. The House killed it. This is not a functioning democracy. Even though one party may be a functioning party, when the other party refuses to take part in government, that is not a functioning democracy. And we have got to do something to change that. Time is running out. Now, I'll say this, and I've been saying it from the beginning. There is only one issue on the ballot in November, and that's democracy. It isn't, it isn't wars going on half a world away. It isn't the economy. Okay? It isn't climate change. All of those things are rattling around in our heads. All of those things are things that we worry about. But right now, we can't address any of those issues in any kind of effective fashion because we don't have a functioning democracy. There is only one thing on the ballot. It is getting our democracy back on track. And that means eliminating the GOP from both chambers of our government and making sure that Donald Trump does not get a return trip to the White House. That will be certain disaster for America, not just here, but around the world. We are seen as the beacon of democracy on a worldwide basis. Now, I want to tell you that we have no intention of de-emphasizing women. We have no intention to dissolving Women for Democracy. In fact, the role of women in the fight for human rights and equality is paramount, not just here, but around the world. In this country, we are now 51.1% of the population. But around the world, we are the biggest group of second-class citizens on the planet. And we can take the numbers that we have and the power that we have and unite vast, diverse groups of people across this country to power the big blue tsunami. Now, we are determined to get this done. We intend to unite women, people of color, the working class, senior citizens, the LGBTQ community, young people, independent voters, and people who may never have voted before in their lives. Because we want to form a commanding popular majority for positive change. It is now or never, folks, because when the election is over in November, we're either going to be in a much better position to move forward, or we are going to be struggling for our lives under GOP anti-democratic rule. We cannot allow this to go any further. We need to build a monstrous blue tsunami that will give us landslide victories across this nation, because no matter how you slice it, the swing states are going to play a predominant role here, and we cannot afford anemic Democratic voter turnout. We can win those states. we can win those states. And we can win them with commanding numbers if we just resolve to go out and vote. That's all this is going to take. Because Donald Trump is already sowing the seeds of doubt about the veracity of this upcoming election. He is already setting up the big lie 2.0. He is already starting to create fear, uncertainty, and doubt in the minds of some people. And this must not be tolerated. We cannot afford anemic Democratic voter turnout. We have to give him numbers that are too big to be denied and too big to be challenged. Does anybody remember how high school girls responded to the overturn of Roe? Well, I remember, because it was a sight to behold. They came out in force and they demonstrated and they walked out of their classrooms. This was unprecedented, had not been seen before here. And I know some of you didn't see it because the mainstream media didn't cover it very much. But they not only were out there, but they had their male counterparts out there in support of them. And our plan, one of our plans, is to mobilize now these high school students who are of voting age all across this nation. We know we can do that. We have plans to do that, and we will be talking to you about those in a subsequent video. People, it is now or never. I keep saying this, and I will continue to say this. We have got to persevere in November. This thing is going to be won or lost on the internet. Yes, we are going to see debates. We're going to see television ads. We're going to see magazine ads. We're going to see newspaper ads. But let's face it, this is going to be won or lost on the internet and predominantly on social media. So to that end, we're going to be coming back to you looking for your help. We're going to need some volunteers. We don't know specifically what we're going to be looking for yet, but we can tell you that one of the main driving factors will be post sharing all across social media, on Facebook to start, but on many other venues to follow. And we'll be coming back to you again with a subsequent video explaining how you can help us. Let me just say this in closing. We need to keep America safe for everybody. And right now, there are a number of groups of people in this country who are in danger because of the GOP. We have a vote coming up, not a vote, but a decision coming up from the Supreme Court on whether the states can ban transgender care across the board. That's unacceptable. And the only way this stops is to put in a strong Democratic Party majority so we can start fixing the problems that face us. This cannot be done without democracy. And that's why I keep saying it's the only thing that's on the ballot. We'll talk to you guys later. Have a great day. And remember, the big blue tsunami, 2024 is here. Let's get this done.